that kind of day.
Oh, God.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Are we podcasting and having a beer?
We are podcasting and having a beer, and that is our business.
It is well deserved.
If you are here at the hashtag IMOMSOHARD podcast and you want to see more of these lovely ladies, you can go to.
You do. Don't be shy about it.
Go to IMOMS.
No, you know what? They should go to IMOMSOHARD.com to get tickets for our tour. The tickets are all on sale now.
That's right.
But you go to YouTube if you want to get a good look at these lovely ladies and cardigans that are all balled up. And,
yep. I've been wearing the same. I gave away a lot of my clothes, and I think I went overboard.
Who?
4 bags. And so now I'm at that place where I'm like, I overdid it. It tends to be how I roll. Like, I'm like, keep clothes for 12 years and then get rid of everything and have 3 things.
I did too. That's why I don't like to get rid of anything. I wake up in a cold sweat because I'm like, I would have worn that shirt today.
No, see, I'm like the opposite. I wish I could just wear literally like a black t-shirt, a white t-shirt, and then back to the white t-shirt for the rest of my life forever and ever.
I'm thinking about, because I did do like a hardcore like closet cleanse. But I wonder if I should have you help me do it sometime, because sometimes I get emotionally tied. Even like when we're doing a video or a podcast, I'll get emotionally tied to a thing for some reason.
But I'll get emotionally tied because I see you in the thing and I'll be like, no, you wore that in our one video.
Well, oh my God, I have so many. Like
I would be the worst.
This shirt that we did our first video in, I can't get rid of and I never will. I just won't be able to.
The one, oh my gosh, but that was a cute one. Mine was I think the Rams t-shirt that was 4 sizes too small and I spilled wine all down the front.
That was stain out? No.
Yeah, no, that's still
body hair.
It's still in the laundry. It's 8 years old.
Oh, we're doing great.
We're doing great, you guys. You can go to our Instagram, Twitter, all the things, TikTok, all of that.
We're on all this stuff, and please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast because we like that, and I don't know, people like that.
Also, I just want to say, I'm fucking stoked to do our live show. I think it's going to be very different and fun. And I think Jen and I are going to kick down the doors on a lot of shit that like we all need to talk about and hear about. And I'm like, I can't stop writing. I just want to keep digging. We're having so much fun getting it on its feet. And all we want to do is just make you guys feel good and laugh. But I also think like this one is going to feel different.
Well, it's very different in a lot of ways because as we've been like talking about it and sort of ideating and getting stuff down on paper, we're like, what's harder about kids that are like over age 5? Because
they're mean?
Yes. Below age 5, it's physically exhausting. You're picking them up.
Yeah.
You're doing everything for them.
But you can outsmart them for the most part.
But when they're over 5, it is mentally exhausting. Like you're
at
the end of your rope emotionally.
You're older.
Yes, you're like, you've left it all out on the field in every way.
Yeah,
when they're
you've
older.
literally taken them to a field and then they want to play like emotional sparring with you after you've done like nothing but hand out snacks for a team of 30 and they're like, can I have this? Why? Why can't I want that? Why can't we go? I want to go eat tacos. Why can't we have tacos? We have tacos at home, but your tacos aren't the same tacos. I'm like, when can I press mute? Why?
And then it's like you get them to bed or you get them like reading or just so that you have a second to like do this, which my husband and I always joke about that we're always going, okay.
Yeah.
About 40 times a day.
I know.
We're like, which means, okay, on to the next thing that I have to do right now. But I need like time to like give myself a break and to not scream at my husband to put his plate in the sink. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's called a tour. And I'm not going to lie. I can't wait. I have said in the past, I will be honest. There have been times in the past, and I'm the first to admit, like there's been times in the past when I knew we were going to go on a show. And again, all of you that are kind of wondering how all of this works, we have rules for ourselves. We're not gone for more than 3 or 4 days at the very, very most. We try to do shows on like Thursday, Friday, and we'll travel bookend it. But like
one time we were gone for almost 10 days and we almost died. We almost killed each other and we were crying like for the last 6 days.
Yeah, we were looking at pictures of each other's kids.
Yeah.
Because we felt so homesick. And so we have these rules for ourselves and they're great. And as the kids get older, you're like, that window can really open up. And like, I am like, I'm ready to go back on the road. I really am. There's been a couple where I'm like, I'm not ready. Like we just got home. We're going to go out again or whatever. Not now. Nope. I'm ready. I'm really ready. I'm ready to see people that like me.
My daughter, who loves to have like deep conversations about how much life hurts, which, hey, she got it from me. She has told everybody at school how mommy's going back on the road, and she's really sad about it.
And
I'm
she's selling it.
but guess what? All those teachers and friends, they have my back. They're like, mommy's going to work.
Yeah, mommy's going to work. First thing I'm going to just say, and y'all are going to be really enjoying this complaint, is I feel tricked in the fact that I just called my parents yesterday, and it was warmer in Nebraska than it was in California, and we paid 25 times the cost of real estate. And my parents, I think, were playing that long game of like, I told you so. Like, California's not so great now, is it? We've been 6 weeks, regular temperature, 46 degrees.
Yeah, it's not like that here.
At night, 38 degrees.
Yeah.
And it snowed. It snowed in Burbank.
All over. Yeah, our friend that lives in Santa Clarita, it snowed up there.
It's snowing.
A desert basin.
It's a desert basin. We are in the upside down. I need everything to correct. My kids are like, Mommy, look, it snowed. And I'm like, don't wish for it.
Well, we had like power out. We had the internet out for a long time.
You guys lost your plumbing.
My kids have never taken the idea. It's all hard for all of us to think like, oh, how could what I do or my daily habits have like a lasting effect on the universe or like Earth? But my kid, my Dash said to me, goes, "This global warming. I haven't had internet in 2 days. Like nobody's ever been so fired up and like on a mission to stop global warming.
Wait, the weather stopped the Wi-Fi? Well, now there's a reason.
Yeah. So now he's got a new cause that and I'm like, can we just start with cleaning up your room, like your tiny environment? Can we do that? Or the environment of your underwear?
I honestly think that my kid's environment might be making a tear in the ozone layer just based on
the methane gas that kids produce.
Oh, you and I have talked about this. So Finn, I try very hard to be respectful of his journey into pubescence, and like obviously I would be careful about anything that was disclosing too much, but I'm just gonna say it right now. We've gone into the new space of foot odor that will literally put a hole in a brick wall. He came into the house yesterday and was very excited because where he goes to school, it rained or it snowed a little bit, but it was more rain.
Crazy.
So he was a little bit wet. And I was like I felt assaulted. I was like,
yeah.
Wait, what? Like, it's sour. There's a smell. And then he sat down next to me and took his shoes off. And I thought someone had slapped me in the mouth. I was like, you gotta go.
Oh man.
It's new because when they used to have like stinky little dogs, it was like, detergent and a little bit of dirt and like they're little stinky dogs. And you do that game where you put your feet up against their nose and you'd be like, stinky feet. And then they would laugh. I would do anything than,
oh my God.
If my
it smells like a wrestling mat.
The only way I'm doing that is if literally his life depended on it. They were like, this kid, you have to take a deep whiff of his feet in order for him to see tomorrow. I'd say, yes, okay, fine. Of course, I'll do it. Any other reason? Absolutely not. No money. No.
Even my 7-year-olds, they're that way. They're intolerable. And you know how I know this? And I can say it because my feet are that way. They are my kids, which is kind of what we're going to talk about today.
Foot odor family. So I'm actually in a whole new world.
My husband's
my breath will kill a bird, but foot odor.
You own that. I have horrible pits and I have horrible crotch and I have horrible feet. Like anything on my body.
I'm not saying my downstairs. There isn't times that I'm like, woof. Is that?
That's why I say
how long have I been wearing these pants?
If it's got a corner that goes in, you get in there and you hose it out.
They don't.
But
they don't.
My husband doesn't smell that bad. His feet do, and it's because he will wear the same pair of slides without socks for. Well, thank God he's not wearing socks with them because it's good.
I think my husband is very lucky because he really doesn't have body odor on any level. His mouth smells good and his body smells good. But I've also seen him wash himself in the shower. And I love my husband, but that guy will figure out a way to do the thing the easiest way and sort of like cut corners.
Oh.
He does not do that in the shower. It is an
Great.
aggressive cleaning. I mean, he's in full squat. I don't know. His mom and dad taught him well. Like they were
Good
like,
for you,
I'm like, oh
Colin.
my God, like you're bent over. Like meanwhile, my son and my daughter, they're like, just a breeze by of a loofah on your shoulders that's
That doesn't
clean.
count. No, I saw this thing that was like a post on this mom thing that was like, that is helicopter parenting. If you stand outside and shower and tell your 9-year-old how to shower, and I'm like, no, it's not. I would get called in by CPS if I didn't do that because
100%. You know why? Because they just stand in there in the hot water.
it feels good.
Feels good.
Absolutely.
They're probably like, touching stuff, but not in a washing way.
And there are times like Delilah, I'm like, let's open the door. I got to go in there and I got to get, like, they had crazy hair day yesterday.
Yeah.
And then today they had picture day, which was really poor planning on the Stuco part.
They're like, we can't get the purple out.
Yeah, no, she's got pink down the back of her head today. Like, she washed it 2 times. Luckily, it's not in the front, which is good. But, like, if I don't stand there and check in and I have to ask things like this, did you clean the place where poop comes out?
That's exactly what I say. The hole where poop comes out.
Because they'll be like, the cheeks, sure.
The cheeks
whatever.
are really clean. And I'm like, nope.
Did you clean the front part underneath everything? Did you get in there?
And then you're like, but don't get in there too much. Don't go all the way in there.
Yeah,
but just give it a nice once over with.
Absolutely.
And don't go too aggressive.
It's a good reminder for me too.
It's a good reminder for me. But I'm just saying, like, we're doing our best. I have to give a shout out, Julie Bowen from Modern Family, who I just really love her. She came up, and I'm gonna butcher the name of it, but she came up with this like cleanser for like it's really geared towards like prepubescent and pubescent boys.
Great.
And on the directions, I can't remember the name of it. I want her to come on our podcast because I think she's such a badass. But it's called like, she calls it cracks, butts, nuts, and pits, nuts, and guts. Or pits, nuts, and butts.
I just read about this.
And it's really cool. And she's like, she's got these 2 boys, and they are literally like, for a fact, she's yelling at them, get your pits, nuts, and butts. Like,
yeah, they're twins, right?
They're twins. And they're like ornery, and like, I think she's single, she's divorced. So I think she's like, but I love that there is this product that sort of gears towards this like very blunt talk. We're not helicopter moms because we're on the out. You think we want to stand in there and go,
God, no.
Hey boy, I really want to manage your shower. Ugh. What I want is for you to actually shower.
Yes.
And don't tell me like at one point, God bless him, my son was like, well, I washed my wiener. And I go, well, no. And in my head, I was like, my preliminary thought was, I'm glad to hear he washed his wiener. Wait a minute. Did he just?
Get the rest? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So he had just washed his wiener in the sink.
It feels like you got it.
And then I go. In the sink. I go.
It's very French of you.
First of all, you're not tall enough. So I don't know how that worked other than everything was on everything.
That's what I was going to say.
And the second thing is, get your ass in the shower so everything else can get clean too.
Yeah.
Why do I have to be so specific?
I don't know. I think it will always be that way. And I mean, I'll do it because
we're just trying to make them into good humans. Did you hear what I just did? I went,
okay. All right. We were having this conversation when we were talking about the live show the other day, which is that my daughter, picture day today.
Yeah.
But BT dubs. She dresses very weird. She will wear like a long sleeve dress underneath like a sundress because she wants to wear this sundress. And I'm like, you can't, it's winter. It's 46
I like it.
You can't. So she dresses, it's just.
She looks like a women's studies professor
totally.
at like Sarah Lawrence.
It's very unconventional.
Not a lesbian, just like woo-woo.
I absolutely want her to be her own person. I'm like, when it comes to like their hair, I want them to be, we have like certain rules about things because I don't want them to have distractions at school.
That's what
it
is.
A little bit of this. So
yeah.
There are times I go in and you got to change, but I'm like, when it's picture day, mommy decides.
Yeah. One day of the year,
and
we get to decide.
Can I put little buns in my hair? Which she does that a lot, but I go, no, I want to be able to look back and say, oh, your hair was this long and it was kind of blonde because guess what? It's going to change. And
it's got to be on my wall.
And number 1, it's going to be on my wall. Number 2, you're going to thank me for not letting you go to school like a crazy person
Come
on
back
this
to my 4th grade
day.
photo.
I mean, I warn her
Cautionary tale.
all the time about it. And so I curled her hair. I did like all this stuff. She was so mad at me. I got to pick out the outfit.
She's going to love it when she sees it.
I think that she will. But you guys, she is my child because I remember my mom, she like gave up on asking me what to wear. She would buy matching outfits and then she was like, okay, I'm done. You go. But I do have this sense of like, I need people to think I'm trying with you. Like you can't be dirty. You can't wear dirty clothes.
Exactly.
But you can dress like a crazy person as long as it's not distracting.
Yeah.
Like for you or for anybody else.
My brother owns a barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother is, I love him. I love you, Matthew. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And I love my brother. But my brother does everything in an effort to antagonize. And he made these T-shirts for his barbershop. And it says like the best BS in town on the front.
Funny.
So Eleanor, it's the one sweatshirt she wants to wear because it's a little bit naughty. And I'm like, and on the back, it's like a really aggressive cartoon. And I'm like a Tasmanian devil and then a booby girl. You know, I'm like, all of it is like, you're not
you
wearing
just described
that.
your brother so well.
That's literally like his dating app. I was like, he's got a girlfriend and they're very much in love. And I really like her. And please stay. Please stay. So I said, you cannot wear that to school. And I am the devil because of that. But Eleanor's actually really easy with that stuff, almost to the other side where I'm like, all right, I've seen you in a hoodie and jeans every single day.
Where on earth would she get that?
Every day of the week. Sometimes I try. I'm like, can you wear a nice button up? I'm wearing a button up. Like, I have my own style. She has her own style. But I'm like, there's some times where I'm like, Eleanor's thing is she gets in the shower and she's like, my hands don't work. So I'm just going to put the conditioner on my scalp and let it do its thing. And then she forgets to fully rinse. So she's got thin hair. So it will make the top of her hair super like greasy.
We've all been
and
there.
It looks like she hasn't showered when she is literally just showered. So all I think all day is like, she's wearing this like repeat clothes. Like we are okay. We are okay financially. We are okay as people.
A lot of us have just learned this in the last, we learned this too late in life. So let's helicopter and stand outside the shower and say this. Shampoo is for your scalp and conditioners for the ends of your hair. Yes.
And also, you don't need more than a dime.
You barely need any. And kind of you don't need it.
You kind of don't.
Yeah. You could do
if you give a good rinse and detangler, it's plenty. But Eleanor knows that it extends the life of her shower. If I'm like... If I'm like, you've been in there for 20, literally, I have unloaded and loaded the dishwasher. I have read 2 chapters of my book. Please, I forgot you were in here. What are you doing? She's like, in a steam bath. Sometimes I catch them sitting on the floor of the shower and nothing makes me more, I'm like, what?
Jealous. Nothing makes you
jealous,
more jealous.
But also like, get up and do the work and be done in 5 minutes. I'm not like, I don't enjoy all the water waste. I want you out of the shower.
We got this new shower head and God, I love it. But it's and of course everybody uses our shower too.
I know everybody shares the shower.
They have this I think better for kids. It's a really fun magnetic shower wand that they can like all over. But they use ours and it is 1 shower per 30 minutes because all the hot water is gone like this, which obviously
man, if you've ever lived in Nebraska, you know what that's like. We lived on a farm and like it was a race to see. It was the way you got up in the morning because whatever your shower order was, you were going to be determined whether it was going to be a cold ass shower. And in country during the winter when you are taking a cold shower, it's like a punch to the face and a punch to the face and a punch to the face.
We do, I'm sure everybody does this. We do army shower, which is you have 1 minute to get in and you get get out.
Nuts, guts, butts.
Yeah, just like they do in the army. But I feel like Eleanor has a really good sense of style. And we get a lot of Eleanor's hand-me-downs, but she's a little bit older and she's sort of like
she's preppy.
You have a distinct style, but I think
I do.
I think she does too. Like, I think like she makes good choices for her.
She does.
And it's really cute. And I guess if I could be more objective, which I think it's hard to do with your own children sometimes.
It's impossible.
I look at Delilah and her sense of style is so different than mine, and I don't get it. Like I can't buy stuff for her. I can't. But there are ways that we are so similar and shockingly and upsettingly similar that we got an email home from the teacher, and I have to make this caveat. I love our teacher. She was Dash's teacher.
She did the right thing by emailing you.
Totally. And
I know what happened, and I think she did do the right thing, and I think you know.
I think it probably was bugging her for a long time before she sent the email. But I also know she's a very patient teacher. And she was the teacher that during lockdown and we were remote learning, I would hear her talk to my son and it reminded me like, I can use that tone of voice. Like she's got 2 kids at home too, and she's better than me. And she's like really understanding and like lets them learn in their own way. However, she goes, she sent this email home and let me start more at the end. I go, Delilah, I received an email from your teacher today. Do you have any idea what about? And she goes, is it because I'm bringing too much glam to school? And I go, what do you mean by glam? She's like lip gloss and hand lotion and sanitizer and like spa masks and things. And I'm like, yes, because you already
crystals
know.
And
yes, you already know
vanity mirror.
Those are distractions, and you're not allowed to bring distractions to school. And she goes, yeah. And I go, well, what are you doing with them? And I put them on my desk, and I play with them. So she just has this line of spa goods.
Spa goods. I know this cannot be surprising to you.
No, but I know she's got like a diffuser and a selenite wand, and she's just clearing everybody's energy.
She's got like a steam bath because she's got Jen's light mask putting on it. She's like, you know what? It's regenerating collagen. This cannot be a surprise to you because when I got on a plane with Jen, she's like, here's a Sandy wipe. Let me get my first. She has an emergency kit. Let me open that because I always need it because I have nothing.
Oh my God.
She's like, here's an emergency kit. Here's 4 different sizes of clippers. Hey, do you have any nail clippers? Jen's like, what size? I'm like, they make those? I use the one my grandfather used on horses. What do you got in that bag of yours? And then like a file. Do you want the buffer kind or the whatever kind? And then makeup. She's got like all these, like literally Jen opens her makeup bag at a show and she's got like everything is beautiful and like beautiful cases, and mine's like I'm like using foundation that's in the bottom of my bag that has spilled and I'm like putting on, I'm like, I think there's some black from my eyeliner in there, but it'll do.
I do. Now, that's true. I love that shit, but you should see my garage. Okay, there are parts of my life where that is indeed not the case.
You guys are so similar in that way. She loves to decorate the world in her spirit. It's not,
Totally.
it's just an extension of her little personality being like whimsical and woo-woo.
And her friend has
I bet she has tarot cards. She's like, are you a Pisces?
Not yet. My husband's too weirded out by him, but she will.
I'm weirded out by them.
Well, but her friend has a little sister who's in TK, and she's just the cutest thing you've ever, which is transitional kindergarten if you're from the Midwest. Because
you hit the freaking lotto if you hit TK in California, because that means you get a
free daycare for
for 1 year.
It's amazing. So she's really sweet, and I guess I just found this note, and not the spa mask, in Delilah's backpack that said, Adina, I know that you're having a hard time right now, so I want you to have this spa mask for comfort or something.
Also, it will help with the dark under circles that you have that are appearing. If you just start now, they'll be better.
So she knows better than to bring stuff to school. We literally have a conversation about it once a week because she's trying to bring like a squishy or something to school that's fun, like whatever the new thing is. And I'm like, no, it's distracting. You can't.
Yes.
We got to limit her like hair ornament. What do you call it? Like all this scrunchies and too many barrettes. Like you have to limit it because she gets distracted anyways.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that we deal with her learning, is that like you don't have to sing a song about every math problem.
Right.
Like just get through it,
just get it.
Because there's a lot of it. And so all of this had to be sent home, and it started with she had really dry hands.
They're like, we need a U-Haul.
And So I sent an email back to the teacher and I am effusively apologizing. I'm like, I have been trying to prevent this from happening. I could see signs of it happening. We have talks all the time, and she was like, "Don't worry about it." She goes, "I think it comforts her, like to have her little area like
oh my God,
set
it makes
up."
school awesome.
Yeah, and so she made me be a little bit more sensitive about it, which I appreciated. And then so what we landed on was let's just put like a lip moisturizer
Yeah.
and hand moisturizer, a little one, in your backpack. So if
Where it
you
can
have
stay
an
there.
emergency, you know that it's there. Like
And she's like, can I put a couple of my crystals in there? Because you just don't know when
we
there's a dark force.
We did add a Bath and Body Works scented hand sanitizer.
Say whatever you want. I flippin' love Bath and Body Works.
Good.
I'm back on that train. I went off into bougie Aesop and all that crap. And now I'm like, my whole house is like bringing back everybody to 9th grade. I'm like, you're going to have glitter on your hands and it's freaking buy 18 for $2. I'm into it.
Yeah. But she is a chip off the old block. And it's like, I see it and I'm like, I don't want, because I zero in on like my bad habits, like my bad habits, my toxic habits, and I'm like,
are they confusing
her?
Am
I accidentally giving those to her too? You know,
I don't think, but from my perspective, because I love both of you, I don't think they're bad habits. I think it's her little baby Jenny coming out and like an extension. But I think you're doing the right thing by reeling it in and saying like there's a time and a place, and like the rule of no distractions is really key. Because I actually. This is a deeper dive, but when people say that I look like Finn, I see it. I know we look alike. People are like astonished how much we look alike, especially at times when we're like,
especially your 4th grade school pictures.
Oh my God. We're twins.
Yeah.
And we have the same haircut,
hair, same shirt.
Yeah, like right now his hair is very like Rue McClanahan. It's very big.
Avon pearl earrings on him, and it's
over with. Yeah. He's got way better teeth, but like whatever. But I know that we look alike. I don't, when I look at Eleanor, I'm always like, I look at her and I'm like, I don't know that we look alike. And also I think we're very different in certain ways, but I think she's so much, I think she's so much better than me. And so in her little heart spirit, but Finn, when Finn is being difficult, I see myself the most, which is like this whole thing. So I've been throwing Finn under the bus for a while, and I would just like to make it fair and throw Eleanor under the bus right now and say that my daughter, I think in a million ways she is so special. And I probably, to Finn, he's 100% like, she's your favorite. And I'm like, she's super nice to me.
You know what? It's just effort made.
We spent 20 minutes in the car coming up with a shimmer dance to the Grease soundtrack.
Yeah.
And all you asked me for is a goddamn bottle of Prime, which I said no to 45 minutes in a row. And I wanted to just put my head in a trash compactor by the time I got home. So the experiences are different. I love you both. So I seriously, like, anyway, Eleanor's big thing is like, she's real chill.
Yeah.
And I am not chill. I have operated like I am running an 8-table section my whole life. I walk fast. I go from A to B fast. I make mistakes because I go too fast. I get frustrated if I can't go fast. I'm Finn. Finn is me. And so like I'm always like bobbing and weaving and like walking through the house fast. I never go from the stairs upstairs to the kitchen and think I can mosey this. Even if I don't have any reason to go, I'm never slow. She just is like, let me hold on to this butterfly. And so I'll say to her in the morning, as I've said a million times, how many times have you guys said this? You're like, okay, you guys, we got to go. We're going to be late. Like Finn's got a bus. Eleanor's got a bus. I'm like, let's go. We got to go. And get your shoes on. Eleanor, please get your shoes on. Get your backpack. Your notebook's out. She's kind of messy. It's all over the place. And I'm trying to teach her not sound crazy, but this is exactly what she did yesterday. I go, Eleanor, where are your tap shoes? Oh, those have been lost now for about 3 weeks. I'm like, what have you been wearing to tap? And she's like, yours? And I'm like, those are 3 sizes too big. Those cannot work. And she goes, yeah, they're not. I go, okay, so now we have to get you new tap shoes because they are going to be too small by the time we find them. Fine, we're new. Okay, fine. Go get your regular shoes on. Goes upstairs, comes down. She's like, Mom, I found my sheet music for piano. I go, that was 2 years ago. Those books are from 2 years ago.
Well, I knew I'd find it eventually.
Can you please find the shoes that you need to put on your freaking feet, please?
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
I am losing my mind. And so Eleanor's like difference in me is the thing I'm trying not to, I don't know, like I feel like when I tell her that I want her to be faster and show more hustle, it feels like I'm criticizing her or saying like the way I do it is right. But in some ways, I'm like, the way I do it is right.
Well, you got to meet in the middle.
I mean, she's really like, she is fine to like, she'll start thinking about, you know, like she'll think about anything. She'll think about like, hey, Mom, I really like this nightlight. And I'm like, get your shoes.
So frustrating, I know. And then sometimes I'll do a countdown. I'll start counting backwards, and then Delilah will just start crying, and I'm like, I am counting. When has counting ever made anyone cry? But it's like too much pressure.
I know.
But I do feel like that is our job to like. There are things about everybody's personality that are unique and great, and don't need to be like, you know,
they get that from you, or they get that from you,
or that you don't necessarily have to like change. You just have to make them work. Like I believe in self-care. I believe you should have like moisturizer and stuff like that, because literally the root of it is that you care. It means you're taking care of your body.
It's just tricky.
Some level.
You've got to navigate.
But I will never put like, I would never be like, I am going to make sure I do this like self-care thing before I do work.
Right.
I would never.
To say that my kid gets to do this thing because I don't want to hurt her feelings. I'm like, no. The world is, we all work together.
Yes.
We all cooperate. And a desk, can you imagine if I were a student across from Delilah and she had all that stuff on her desk? I'd be like, whoa.
It's distracting to them.
Do you see what I mean? But like, so that's where you're coming from. You're not mad that she likes all these things. You're just upset that like, you're trying to teach her that like, she can't take her life and her mess and make it somebody else's. And Eleanor can't do that either.
Exactly.
She cannot make us late.
That's right.
I always say to her, I go, someday you're going to have the most fun in your life when you have girl roommates. And you know what people don't like? Messy roommates. So you need to clean up after yourself, because you're going to have the best time or you're going to have the worst time. So you need to make sure stuff is clean. Because my son is actually really tidy and Eleanor is a disaster. And also she's weird, and and I love her weird, but like she's weird about like, she's got this display of these freaking wigs and like these canes and all of this weird stuff that you can't touch, but then it's just underwear everywhere. I'm like, Eleanor, when you have roommates, I always say that because I think she's really like, that's like a glory to her. I'm like, when you have roommates, you cannot leave your underpants crotch up in the bathroom. It's just freaking tacky. Okay.
Yeah.
It's freaking tacky.
Yeah.
So like, just can we just do that? Like,
I know, but you know, or you got to get a college roommate that's just like you, because Mandy and I had like one pile for dirty laundry and dirty dishes, so that worked. But I'm not like that anymore. Like
I know, I would say Allie Bell would love to chime in right now and be like, Kristin, your underwear were in the bathroom all the time, and we found them in the front yard once. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Actually, I saw this really great hack on Instagram today, which was Pamela Anderson always keeps backup underwear, a backup thong in her, you know, which is my genius idea. And she uses it as a hair tie.
Yeah. Mine would be fine to use as like a zip line.
People would be more like, his feet smell bad. Oh, nope, that's not.
Kristin, your hair smells like soup.
Why do I smell Campbell's Thick and Hearty? Yikes.
Kristin, I don't think you're supposed to wear them and then use them as a scrunchie.
But
that's disgusting.
I mean, this is what I worry about though with my kids is like, you can't, what's the worst thing? Like if you were in an argument with your husband, the worst thing.
I can say to him, so many, you want 10? No, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. You jumped on that too quick.
Sorry.
All right. Was like, if he were to say, your mom does that or something like that to me, I would be like, sign this paper here, sir, and then leave. But like that hurts because you see these like things that you don't like about your mom and you don't want them to become you. I mean, that's as honest as I can be. And I worry about the things I don't like about myself, my kids picking up on. And it's not, I mean.
What would be this thing that would make you, what attribute of yours do you really worry that would become theirs that wouldn't be a positive? Like, what's the thing? Is it?
One thing is that like I will dig in about stuff. I'm not always somebody who's like I'm right about everything, but if I'm right, I'll die on that fucking hill, and
Yeah.
it's bad. Like, and I know.
Well, what's the other option? Is to be like, you're right. Like, we can't fucking say that to them. We can't be like, I know what you mean. You feel like you don't bend, which is so funny because I look at you and I'm like, you're the most reasonable person I know. Like, you don't freak out.
But when Delilah pushes back, is that me? When she like is
No,
like
it's mothering.
she's just trying to figure out how to make her way work. Is she
Yes.
getting that from me?
It's called tenacity. It just needs to be harnessed. That's what I think. I think that they're trying to they're trying to make their own way, and we're in their way. Because we're in their way, we're making their way safer and better, and like they don't want to hear it, but they're taking it in. That's what I think it is. I think it is like I think it's okay to say hustle is important. I also think it's okay to say, Eleanor, your calm nature makes me feel very vulnerable and very open to talking about my feelings. It's whether you have the ability to recognize that there's a yin for a yang.
Yeah.
You know, there's a way to say like, and also I think it's fully fucking fair that we have no time for bullshit. And there's just times where a little bit of a pop is not pop like as in a hit,
Yeah.
a pop as in like, hey, cool it. Like, get to the door. Like, get your shoes. You're going too slow. Like, we
Yeah.
are not unraveling their feelings because we are direct. I think screaming every single day is not cool. It's something I work on because I feel like lately my kids, like, if it's not one, it's the other. And they're just working me. And I'm
Relentless.
like, this is not fresh. I've been at it for like 2.5, 3 hours. And then my
Yeah.
husband comes in after going to grad school and he loses it in 4 minutes. I'm like, you don't get to lose it in 4 minutes.
No, you've got hours of being patient before you get to yell at somebody.
Yeah, literally last night I go, I just want you to know that what you're seeing right now, and it was Eleanor being like, I can't find my iPad, and Finn got his iPad, and it's not fair that we can't be at my iPads during the week. And Finn's like, whoa, 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 like goading her, and she's like, shut up. And I told Colin, I go, this is what it is every single night. And I try like hell to keep it cool, but I can't keep it cool. So now you do it.
Yeah.
You do it and you keep it cool, because I think we're trying so hard to maintain that everything has a beginning, like a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're trying to say like, hey, I'm trying to direct you like this in a nice, calm way so that you make good decisions so the direction is clear. But sometimes you're just like, fuck it, I'm in the middle of parenting right now and I can't care.
Yeah, I don't have time and I don't have the energy.
The end game is not the game
to
now.
Explain to you why. It's just the answer is the answer.
Because mommy said so.
Yeah.
I like Finn will say why and I go, I'm sorry. You think I owe you an explanation? I don't.
No. Mm-mm.
I don't owe you anything.
I say this thing to my kids, which I think sounds so horrible and threatening, but it works.
I'll see yours. I'm not going to leave you out alone.
I say, do you want me to ruin your day?
Yeah.
Because you're really ruining mine.
I love that.
Yeah. And then they're like, I think I know what that means. I think it means that she's about to snap. And
Yeah.
like I'm going to lose everything.
I always say,
my toothbrush.
I will take away everything that you know is fun. Everything.
Probably
I will take it away.
You don't even know we're fun. Like,
yeah. I'm like, I'll take away the door on your bedroom just because I think maybe on some level you being able to close your bedroom door would be fun. I will take it all away. I'll take away your reading chair, which you never use.
Yeah, all of a sudden that's the thing. You take it away and all of a sudden they want that thing too.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I will not. Sometimes I'm like, I know the words I'm saying right now have a point. And then there's times I'm like, I just want you to go to bed so I can enjoy my night. Please just go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
And I think that every mom tries to start out with because I do explain things, and I'm not explaining it because I'm apologizing or because I feel
You're
the
trying
need
to
to
teach
explain.
them.
I'm trying to teach them logic. And so I try to do things like, if you do X, then, Y will happen. So wouldn't it be better if Y didn't happen? So like if you pick up your shoes, they won't get eaten by the dog. Because you like these shoes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to help their brain.
But then 20 times down the road, you're just like, pick up your damn shoes, man.
Yeah, I'm just throwing those shoes
I'm
up the steps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever happens to them happens.
Yeah.
I did my best. But it's like the thing with, I think the thing with Eleanor, if I can say, this is not me like parenting tipping or anything at all, but it's because Kristin moves really fast and I move really slow. And I always have. But the thing that I learned that about myself was because Kristin hates being late, gives her anxiety.
Yeah.
The idea of like being late or like
making people wait on me
is upsetting for her. I feel the same way. And I have to start earlier because I hate rushing.
Yeah.
I know that like Kristin can get ready for a show, like one of our live shows. She will wake up from a nap 20 minutes beforehand, and I am up 2 hours like beforehand getting ready because.
But Jen's like, you should blend in your foundation. It's just on the left side of your face. I'm like, oh,
because the idea of rushing to me gives me anxiety.
Yeah, and rushing is my normal.
Yes, the idea of going slow gives you anxiety.
Yeah.
But it really probably took me till I was like 25 to be like, oh, I hate this feeling of being behind.
Yeah. That is definitely a young man's game too. Cause like I was terrible at time management. And then I made everybody, my shit was everybody else's shit. And like, it was just hard to like, I remember like waiting tables jobs. I would show up like literally at the time I was supposed to clock in, which isn't cool. It's like Lombardi time. Be 15 minutes earlier, you're late. Like, and I had a manager one time tell me, he's like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, I was like, in the height of my 20s, being like very like self-centered and being like, oh my God, everything is hard for me. And he's like, I like you so much, but you're making your problems my problems, and it makes me like you less.
Yeah.
And I was like, I will never, ever forget those words. My mother has been trying to say that to me for literally, as she just said it 15 minutes ago, and I'm annoyed by her, but you said it, and now I'm going to listen. And I kind of like changed me. And Eleanor will have those moments too. I think what I worry about is, this is a thing that I feel like my mom was critical, and she was very good at it. So she would say it in a way sometimes where I'm trying not to say anything bad about her, but I'm like,
oh, wow. Are we supposed to not say bad things about our moms?
No, but you know what I mean?
Because
there's so many things about her that are lovely, and I always feel bad when I'm going to say something that isn't awesome, but she would be critical until I heard the criticism. So sometimes if it was a criticism that was done one time and I didn't respond, she would try it new ways until I got it. So that like fifth or sixth time she said the thing about the thing, it was really harsh and it would cut. And I was like, I don't want to convince Eleanor that hustle is important and she's not listening to me the first time. So then I say it in a way that's a little bit meaner or a little bit more like manipulative, or I just want her to know that I think a little bit of get up and go is a good thing in life. And she doesn't have to be like me. She just has to be like punctual and responsible.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
a planning thing.
It is, but I'm incredibly self-conscious about feeling too critical, especially towards her for some reason, only because I know her to be so vulnerable and she's so freaking sweet. And I don't want to unsweeten her. Finn, on the other hand, I'm like, I'm just going to scream this thing first because I know you're not going to listen to the first 25 times.
I mean, words matter. And because the words matter to you when you receive them, they matter to you like when you say them.
Yes,
and
I try really
think
hard
about them a lot. But like Britt, who has only gushing things to say about his mother, is like, oh, she said one time, I should never wear my hair back because I have such a long forehead. And like
it forever.
It sticks with him. He thinks he has a big forehead now. Like,
yeah. I think that was where my mom never said stuff like that, but I did remember like I was like, woo, shots fired, and it felt like just a practice that I didn't want to do. Also, I'm sure I was the world's biggest pain in the ass and that I had exhausted her. Knowing what I know now, I had exhausted her to the point of she's like trying to get through to me something. And I was like, oh, that one I heard. But that one hurt my feelings. Like that one hurt and I heard it. And it
Yeah.
like would, but now what I know now is perspective is everything. But at that time, you don't have that. So I'm just
No.
trying really hard to be careful with them, even though this age sucks.
Yeah, we're running out of patience to choose careful words.
Should
that's
I
for
should I
sure.
jump into a hot flash to change the tone
God,
of this?
please. Hot flash, hot flash. Hot flash.
You guys, I'm really excited about this hot flash. I really
Okay.
am. I got to tell you, I have some feelings brewing, and my husband knows, and I think he's on board
He's
with
okay
them.
with it, or he's good. He's going to watch or join in.
I think
What's
he
happening?
really likes him too, and so it's not in a listen, that is reserved solely for Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
He has been.
yeah. That's their one threesome they're gonna do.
I'm not invited.
Oh, okay.
No, they're gonna he doesn't want to go that far. He just wants to hot tub with Brad. And I think he would like to walk down Hollywood memory lane with Brad. I don't think he wants to maybe a cuddle and maybe a kiss.
Yeah,
That would be the heart. That
I
would be
think
the
Brad
heart and soul
has
of it.
that effect on most men, where they're like, "Oh, he's like the coolest
He's the
guy,
coolest.
and let's just be friends.
Let's just be
Like,
friends, but maybe without our shirts on, and we can just
hold each other.
maybe we go to the spa together and like
Or
we're in
maybe
a hot
I give
tub.
you a back rub, and then
You give me a back rub.
And
Oh yeah, Colin, that'd be Colin's thing.
Yeah,
That
okay.
just more of that. Like maybe a ass slap as you walk by, like in
Sure.
a real
That's
masculine,
yeah.
feminine sense. Pedro Pascal.
Who?
Pedro Pascal.
Who?
Oh my God, Jen.
Oh my God, who is that? I
Oh
mean,
my God. Okay, so he's on a show. I get this show title messed up all the time. It is not This Is Us. Very different from The Last of Us.
oh yes,
Which is
Oh,
on HBO,
gosh.
and it's
Yep.
this post-apocalyptic zombie show that like it has a different tone to it than zombie shows in the past. And I'm a big Walking Dead fan. Like I
Oh,
like
okay.
those kind of shows.
No, I don't.
Mostly-
Zombies scare me.
They are scary, but I kind of find them I love it much more than Wi-Fi, but I don't watch it as much as everything else. But like zombie shows are fun. They're kind of like Knots Landing with gore.
Okay.
So I dig them. And Colin and I, when I like both pregnancies, because Walking Dead was on for 40 years,
Oh my God,
I was
yeah.
like, this guy's still alive? Like we would watch it together all the time. So The Last of Us has been our show. And
I've heard so many good things about it.
the first episode, I was like, am I bored? But that just gave me time to focus on the Pedro.
Pedro
Okay, I
Pascal,
love
okay.
him so much. And here's the thing. So he has been a working actor since he was like 17 or 18 living in New
Mhm.
York. And he'd done a lot of stuff, but like not big stuff. But like if he were to never be where he is right now, any person would look back on his career and be like, damn, man,
worked.
you did work. You're not
Yeah.
like hungry. You just aren't at that place where everybody knows you. And so like the fact that now in his like late 40s, everybody is starting to know him, and he's got all these wonderful friendships from coming up as an actor. And he was on one of those lie detector shows where they put a lie
Oh my
detector and ask
God.
you a question. And he was asked the question, do you ever go to fan Instagram accounts when you're feeling bad about yourself and see what they say? And Jen started to giggle so hard, and he's like, yes. And they were going,
Oh my
and they
gosh.
go, what's the name of it? And he goes, fans of Pedro Pascal. And he like knew the names of the Instagram account. And I just think he is,
Oh, he was on Game of Thrones
he was
too.
on Game of Thrones, but he wasn't like,
Oberyn.
yes, but he's not like the main
Oh,
of
yeah.
anything. You know
No,
who else
he's
he was? He was
really
the bad
cute.
guy.
Yeah.
He was like the bad good guy that you kind of felt bad for in Wonder Woman, the second one. And you would see him and go, oh yeah, that guy. But now you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what's up, that guy?
The first video that comes up is Pedro Pascal on being the internet's daddy.
Here's what I'll say. He also, you'll love this. This is why he's perfect for both of us. His style is fucking perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
He wears like bell-bottom jeans with like a 1970s turtleneck and
Oh my
like
God,
a
I love it.
wide frame thing.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
the glasses
what
he chooses.
is your game? I am into it. Like he like was on like a show and he was wearing this like cool suit that had like a double-breasted thing. And they go, you look a little uncomfortable. And he's like, so uncomfortable. And he's like, they were like, do you want to take off your jacket? And he goes, and ruin the look? And I was like,
God, I love
oh.
him. I love that
He's amazing.
commitment. I love it.
I love him in interviews. He just got interviewed about being on Buffy the Vampire Slayer for literally 6 seconds, and he made it like a 20-minute interview. I'm like, I love
him.
He's awesome.
Okay, that's another reason. I'm going to watch that show. I don't even like vampires, but I've heard
I
that
think
like
you'll like this.
No. Well, let me back that up. I love vampires. Zombies, I don't like. I don't like how they move. I don't know. I'm not.
Because it's fast and they'll kill you?
Yeah, I don't like the weird like out of
you're going to freak.
Thing.
This is a whole new world. And also, you're going to freak because you're going to be like, this actually makes sense. This actually makes sense. And it was based on a video game, and it's cool. It's cool. It is a really nice show for my husband and I to watch together because we just need something to get along.
I have a mom box.
Great.
This is from a mom to these moms and about another mom. We had to read this as a very special call out to our first guest that we've ever had.
Oh, Jenny.
Okay. This is from Jody P. I just wanted to thank you for sharing your mutual friend Jenny with us, and I'm especially grateful that she shared the story of her daughter. As a mom of a child with autism, I could relate with her story, even though hers is so much more heartbreaking. It's so hard, especially when it's your firstborn and you're struggling to figure out what to do when you know something just isn't right. I'm so glad she fought for her daughter and got answers. And guess what? I live in Connecticut, so if there's a fundraiser here for Rett syndrome, count me in. You ladies continue to bring light and laughter to my life, and I look forward to each new episode. Keep up the great work and hope you come out east soon. Jody, thank you for that beautiful message.
That
Jody.
will mean a lot to her too.
It's going to mean so much.
She's a badass. We had a great time, and I feel really happy that she was like our first guest because she could guys, we had to cut some of the episode out because
all we did was talk and answer questions for her.
We were the biggest dicks, but it took us a second, and then we kept her in and cut some of us out, and so you got the best of the episode.
Okay.
Have we podcasted?
Okay,
I really need
you guys?
that food that you ordered from
the rest of this beer.
Yeah.
All right, that was our podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo.